Buckle up, history detectives. We're about to dive into an epic adventure through ancient Rome's game-changing innovations that still blow our minds today. From cozying up in a warm home to building towering structures that defy gravity, the Romans were total visionaries. So, get ready to discover the top 15 most amazing inventions from this incredible civilization. First up at number 15, we have the engineering marvels of ancient Rome, aqueducts. You can't talk about ancient Rome without picturing these incredible feats of engineering. The mighty aqueducts. But did you know that the Romans weren't actually the first to use these systems? Ancient Egypt and India were already making waves with their own versions way before the Roman Empire's rise. The Romans took it to a whole new level, though, by developing an awe-inspiring network of aqueducts over nearly 500 years. By the time they finished around 226 AD, this watery wonder had grown to an astonishing 480 miles long, pumping out a whopping 300 million gallons of fresh water per day. Talk about staying hydrated in style. Now, let's dive into some seriously cool tech. How did those ancient Romans keep their water flowing no matter what? They built these incredible aqueducts that crisscrossed the landscape, both above and below ground, using gravity to do most of the heavy lifting. And when they needed a little extra oomph to tackle uphill climbs, they whipped up the inverted siphon. Basically, high-powered pipelines that made sure everyone got their drink on. This game-changing water system is still considered one of ancient Rome's most iconic inventions, and for good reason. It kept cities thriving as the empire grew. Brr, imagine living in ancient Rome. Chilly cement apartments wouldn't have been cozy. But the Romans were onto something with their ingenious central heating system, the hypocaust. Essentially, a sneak peek into what we now know as modern central heating. These private and public building warmers consisted of cleverly designed hollow spaces between floors and ceilings. Heat from a furnace at one end would travel through these secret passages to heat up the floors. Talk about staying warm and toasty on those chilly Roman nights. The hypocaust system was a total game changer. Not only did it heat up floors, but some clever Roman architects even built these heating channels right into the walls. Talk about cozying up your entire home. And get this, we're still using similar ideas today. That's how cool and warm this ancient tech is. But let's switch gears and dive into something super cool, the birth of the book as we know it. The Romans invented the first ever bound book called a codex, and guess what? Julius Caesar was the mastermind behind it. He wanted an easier way to store all his important notes and info. Little did he know, this invention would change the world one page at a time. Imagine trying to study or read from clay slabs that could crack and crumble at any moment. It was a total info-astrophy. Or picture this scroll so long they'd take an eternity to unroll, just to find that one crucial detail. Talk about a reading roadblock. But then voila! The first bound books, or codexes, revolutionized the way we store and share information. With sturdy covers protecting precious papyrus pages, these genius inventions made it easy to flip through and find exactly what you needed. And the cherry on top, organized tables of content that helped readers navigate their way through thousands of pages in no time. Fast forward to today, thanks to this incredible invention, we're looking at over 100 million books worldwide, each one packed with knowledge and stories, just waiting to be discovered. Get ready to unleash your inner ancient Roman and dive into the fascinating world of numerical innovation. It's time for Roman numerals. You might be wondering, what led these clever folks to create their own system? Well, let's just say counting on fingers wasn't quite enough anymore. They needed something more reliable. And so, the Romans brought their A-game, developing a standardized way to count that would change history. But here's the coolest part. The very first 3 numerals in this ancient system were actually inspired by human hands. That's right, I represents 1 unit, just like 1 finger on your hand. Talk about a clever connection. let's keep exploring this ancient counting system. You're now familiar with I's one-fingered and V's the thumb and forefinger shapey. But what about X? That's right, it represents the number 10, and its shape is inspired by two crossed hands, forming an X. Now, as for L, C, D, and M, things get a bit mysterious. These symbols seem to have originated from somewhere else, but their meaning has stuck with us. Despite this, these 7 letters are the building blocks of Roman numerals, which you can still spot on everything from clock faces to movie titles today. Get ready to be amazed by one of the coolest construction secrets from ancient Rome. Roman concrete. You might think concrete is boring, but this revolutionary invention literally held the empire together. The Romans created various blends for different jobs, but their go-to formula mixed volcanic ash with seawater, a game-changing combo that's still hard to beat today. The key to its strength, pozzolanic ash, a secret ingredient that stopped cracks from spreading and made Roman concrete super durable. When used in buildings, they'd often add a stylish touch with stone, brick, colorful marble, or even some fancy stucco art. And the best part, they could make it set underwater. Talk about building bridges and aqueducts like pros. Check out these mind-blowing examples of ancient Rome's impact on our daily lives, like the Pantheon still standing strong today, thanks to that legendary Roman concrete. But did you know the Romans were also the first to bring us a version of our daily news fix? They called it Acta di Urna, and it was basically an ancient newspaper. Every day, they'd publish important updates on military wins, births, deaths, and upcoming events. Think of it like a Roman Reddit or Twitter feed, and post them in central spots for all citizens to gather and stay informed. No digital devices needed, just papyri, metal slabs, and stone inscriptions doing the job. Let's dive into how Acta di Urna shaped the way we consume news today. Think of it as the OG blend of official announcements and human interest stories. It started in 59 BC, and for nearly 2.5 centuries, Romans could stay up to date on everything from emperor decrees to quirky local tales. And did you know the concept behind making news public and spreading the word? Yeah, that's straight from Acta di Urna. Publicare e propagate. It's like the ancient version of our modern media mantra. Now, let's talk plumbing. Because ancient Rome was seriously on point with their sewage management. Get ready to be amazed. Ancient Rome's plumbing game was stronger than you think. Around 500 BC, they laid the foundation for their sewage system with those first sewers, and over time, it became a complex network of terracotta pipes washing waste into central channels. From there, it flowed into streams and rivers, making way for public latrines to pop up all around the city. Now, I know what you're thinking, public bathrooms. That's not so bad. But here's the thing, even those without home plumbing could use these public facilities. They just had to dump their waste into pots beforehand. And the Romans weren't done there. They even reused bathwater to flush out the latrines. This impressive plumbing system, combined with their public baths and washing stations, made ancient Rome a relatively clean city by ancient standards. So, let's give it up for the Romans. They were pretty on top of hygiene. Let's talk about one of the Romans' most iconic architectural masterstrokes, the mighty Roman arch. While they may not have invented it entirely from scratch, the ancient Romans sure knew how to elevate this structural wonder into a game-changing building block for their incredible creations. By harnessing the power of rounded arches with circular tops and ingenious arcade designs featuring rows of these curved marvels, the Romans were able to construct jaw-droppingly strong bridges, colossal buildings, and awe-inspiring aqueducts that left their mark on history. So, it's time to give credit where credit is due. The Romans took the humble arch and turned it into an engineering powerhouse. Get ready to uncover the secret to building empires. It's time to talk about the Roman Arch Revolution. This architectural breakthrough hit the scene in ancient Rome around the 1st century BC and quickly became the ultimate game changer for constructing bigger, better, and stronger structures across the land. By seamlessly integrating arches into their designs, the Romans were able to push the boundaries of what was possible and create awe-inspiring marvels that would shape Western architecture for centuries to come. As this innovative technique spread across Europe, it paved the way for even more monumental achievements. And we're just getting started on our journey through history's coolest inventions. Meet the Corvus, ancient Rome's secret weapon at sea. This revolutionary movable bridge, attached to Roman warships, turned the tide of battle in their favor during the epic First Punic War against Carthage. By bridging the gap between ships, Roman soldiers could storm enemy vessels with ease, catching their foes off guard and gaining a serious upper hand on the high seas. Engagements got up close and personal as Romans fought from the Corvus itself. Talk about taking the fight to the enemy. With this game-changing invention, Rome went from underdog to undisputed sea power, securing crucial victories that set them on the path to dominance and cementing their empire's place in history. Get ready to uncover a male marvel from ancient times, or the cursus publicus. This pioneering postal system, launched by Emperor Augustus around 20 AD, changed the game for communication across vast territories. Born out of necessity as Rome's empire expanded, it was designed to swiftly deliver critical messages and announcements between provinces. With the cursus publicus in place, Roman leaders could issue commands, share vital intel, and keep their far-flung domains connected like never before. Talk about a real game changer. Little did they know, their brainchild would one day inspire postal systems around the world, including ours today. Rev up your engines. Let's ride into the world of ancient Roman delivery. With a network of horseback riders and horse-drawn carts called radi, messages zoomed across the empire at a pace of about 50 miles per day. That might seem sluggish today, but trust us, it was a lightning-fast feat back then, all thanks to Rome's incredible road system. As we explore more about ancient law, you'll realize that their innovations didn't stop with speed. They also shaped our legal vocabulary in profound ways. Get ready to discover how terms like pro bono, affidavit, and subpoena have been riding the waves of time straight from ancient Rome to your ears today. Buckle up as we journey through time to uncover the roots of modern law. The ancient Romans laid down a foundational piece with the 12 tables, dating back around 450 BC. This groundbreaking code covered crucial aspects such as property rights, theft penalties, and divorce procedures. This was more than just a list of rules. It set standards for punishments, ensuring fairness across their vast empire. Although the 12 tables left a lasting impact, they were later dwarfed by an even more monumental achievement, the Corpus Juris Civilis, also known as Justinian's Code. Established under Emperor Justinian between 529 and 535 AD. This comprehensive document compiled Rome's rich legal history into one epic tome, setting the stage for centuries of legal evolution. The Corpus Juris Civilis didn't just make a splash in ancient Rome. Its impact rippled out to shape many of the world's legal systems and even some of today's fundamental principles. In fact, you've probably heard this one before: innocent until proven guilty. This cornerstone of justice owes its roots to the Romans. Think about it. Without their groundbreaking legal code, we might not have the fair trials and protections we enjoy today. But enough law talk. Let's move on to some surgical precision. Get ready to operate on your perception. The Romans revolutionized surgery with some seriously sharp tech. These ancient masters of precision crafted game-changing tools like syringes, scalpels, forceps, and bone saws that still shaped modern surgery centuries later. Their innovative designs were so ahead of their time that they remained largely unchanged for ages. But what's even more impressive is how the Romans took these tools on the road. Literally, by developing lightweight equipment, they pioneered the concept of field medicine, sending doctors straight to the battlefield to save wounded soldiers in real time. Who knew ancient Rome was a hotbed of medical genius? Meet the chirurgus, ancient Rome's ultimate medical superheroes. These skilled pros were equipped with top-notch tools to perform emergency operations, from arrow removals to on-the-spot sutures, and even dishing out medicine to soldiers in need. The Romans' game-changing approach to field surgery meant that countless lives were saved both within hospital walls and right on the battlefield. And speaking of paths to success, let's talk about how Rome's legendary roads helped pave the way, literally. With roads built to last, Rome connected its vast empire like never before, making it the epicenter of trade, travel, and innovation. Imagine trying to expand an empire with bumpy, crumbling paths. Not exactly the best way to build a legacy. The ancient Romans knew this all too well, which is why they revolutionized road construction. Ditching the weak gravel and rock mixtures of the past, they crafted sturdy pathways using bricks of granite or volcanic lava. These super strong materials withstood the test of time, handling heavy foot traffic, harsh weather conditions, and even cavalry charges. To top it off, Rome's road designers cleverly built in gentle slopes to redirect rainwater, keeping their roads dry and navigable. Talk about a smart infrastructure move. The Romans took road building to a whole new level. They didn't just slap down a path, they surveyed the land, built bridges, and even carved through hills to create an extensive network that connected the empire's farthest reaches. These incredible roads served as lifelines for armies, officials, traders, and everyday citizens alike, facilitating communication, commerce, and cultural exchange across 113 provinces. By the time Rome was at its peak, a whopping 372 roads radiated from the capital, including 29 superhighways, covering over 250,000 miles in total. And get this, by 200 AD, more than half of those roads were even paved, setting a benchmark for infrastructure that would be hard to match for centuries to come. Fast forward to some seriously smart urban planning. The Romans revolutionized the way we live. Their ingenious invention of stacked housing paved the way for the apartment complexes and condo buildings we know today. They called these vertical neighborhoods insulae, or islands, because they were essentially self-contained communities built on top of each other. This game-changing concept helped maximize space, especially in densely populated cities, and provided affordable living options for thousands of people. A major win for urban dwellers then and now. Let's dive deeper into these Roman islands or insulae. These massive apartment complexes were like self-contained cities within a city, covering entire blocks and featuring central courtyards, staircases, and even shops at their bases. Think of it, a bustling hub with everything you need right at your doorstep. The insulae buildings usually had 6 to 8 residential units, and some were even named after the wealthy owners who rented them out to tenants. Imagine being a tenant in one of these iconic Roman insulae buildings, paying rent to a prominent citizen while living amidst the heart of the city. Pretty cool, right? Fast forward to ancient Rome. Here's where we see the modern concept of high-density living taking shape. Insulae construction went from a novelty to a full-blown trend, with over 45,000 popping up across the city by the 4th century AD. Now, let's talk floor plans. You had your prized ground floor apartments called canacula, which were roomier and in higher demand, making them super valuable. And then there were the smaller attic-style apartments called cells, providing a cozy option for those willing to climb up. These cleverly designed insulae buildings were changing the urban landscape of Rome forever, and we're still learning from their innovative design today. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of life in those ancient insulae apartments. The not-so-glamorous upper floors. The cell apartments up high came with a catch of safety concerns and a serious stair-climbing challenge. As a result, these spaces were mostly home to Rome's lower-income residents. But here's the fascinating part. Despite varying levels of luxury, some insulae apartments boasted big windows and multiple rooms, showing that even in ancient times, people wanted comfortable living spaces. Now, we know insul buildings could reach up to 9 stories tall, which was seriously impressive back then. And interestingly, these medium to lower class dwellings were exactly what the majority of Romans needed. A more affordable option for living in the heart of the city. Meanwhile, Rome's wealthy elite, they much preferred their homes to be freestanding. Stacking up in insul buildings just wasn't their thing. Fast forward to how insul living shaped Rome's urban landscape. These stacked houses paved the way for a brand new kind of city planning. Insuls soon turned into self-contained neighborhoods, each with their own little community vibe, local shops, cozy courtyards, and of course the quirky neighbors that come with the territory. On another note, let's talk about one of Rome's most epic contributions to human history, the Julian calendar. This groundbreaking system was actually developed by Greek brainiacs and brought to life by the ancient Romans. And here's the cool part. It's still the foundation for the calendar we use today, with a few tweaks to create our modern Gregorian calendar. The Julian calendar ruled supreme for over 1,600 years across the Roman Empire and much of Western civilization before being replaced in 1582. That's what I call lasting impact. Now, let's dive back into the Julian calendar. It might have been tweaked in 1582, but its original blueprint is still pretty much intact. The only real modification made was shaving off a tiny bit from the average year length, changing it from 365.25 days to 365.24 days. But here's what really set the Julian calendar apart. It introduced a clever system of alternating years with an extra day every 4 years. That's how we got leap years. However, the Julian calendar also brought about a significant change in how long a year was, jumping from 355 days to our modern standard of 365 days. That's right, when the Roman Empire switched to the Julian calendar, they essentially added 10 whole days to their annual cycle. Talk about a timekeeping revolution. Let's break down how the Romans brought their vision for timekeeping into reality with the Julian calendar. To make the switch from a 355-day year, they added 2 extra days to January, August, and December, while giving April, June, September, and November each an extra day. But that wasn't all. They also decided to kick off the new year on January 1st, moving away from the previous March 1st start date. These changes may seem like a big deal now, but back then, it was a game changer for timekeeping. As it turns out, the Julian calendar's influence is still seen today. Its framework formed the base for our modern Gregorian calendar. So, there you have it. The Julian calendar takes the top spot on this countdown of 15 incredible ancient Roman inventions that continue to shape our world. For more mind-blowing facts and lists like this one, be sure to check out our binge-watching playlist featuring